Myanmar's human rights record may have vastly improved over the past couple of years, but even President Thein Sein admits it's far from perfect. Questions about the treatment of ethnic minorities have chased the President to Australia, where he's wrapping up the first visit by a head of state from Myanmar in 4 decades. U Ye Tut is Myanmar's Deputy Information Minister and the President's spokesman. Minister, very good to be talking to you.
Yes, it's our pleasure.
Myanmar is very rich in natural resources. The President, while he's been in Australia, sought Australia's support in helping develop those mineral resources. Is your government concerned that it needs to make sure that in exploiting minerals in mining, that the environment does not suffer as it has in many other developing countries? Is that what you're seeking from Australia?
Yes, the President is very interested about the Australian mining industry. So what we are trying to do is in the future, we would like to exploit our mineral without affecting the environment and also the socio-economic of the people, and also the very good management of our national resources. That's what we would like to learn from the Australian experience.
What about the current protest at the copper mine? I think it's at Moniwa that I have read about. Operations there have led to environmental destruction, was a term that Aung San Suu Kyi used when she was reporting on what had happened there. Local people are also very angry at having their land confiscated. That's not a particularly good example, is it?
Yes, there's the two important thing we learned from the now recent copper mine crisis is, the one is when they make the agreement, there's not a transparent enough to giving the information to the local people, and again is they are not conducting the effective study on the environmental effect. So that's the two things leading to a lot of misunderstanding about the project and recent crisis. Then now the Commission led by the Aung San Suu Kyi made many good recommendations for the copper mine project, and now the President formed the Commission to implement all the recommendations made by the Aung San Suu Kyi Commission.
The Commission was headed by Aung San Suu Kyi. The local community is obviously angered by what her Commission found. What sort of effect do you think events like that will have on her standing, her support among the people in Myanmar?
When Aung San Suu Kyi visited that area and explained, I think most of the people accept the recommendation. Now they accept, but a few very small minority are still against it. But I think it will not affect her reputation in our country. It will also, it's only more support to her reputation, because she is the one who handled the very difficult situation to satisfy all the stakeholders.
During the President's visit to Canberra, Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard spoke publicly and privately about the need for further improvements in human rights in Myanmar. You have come a very long way, but there is still quite a way to go, is there not?
Yes, for the human rights sector, we made a lot of improvement in the last 2 years. Now we have the National Human Rights Commission. All the state media, all the private media have fully practiced their freedom of expression and reporting about the human rights abuse happening in the country. The government take the necessary action. But like every country, we still have the problem. But the most important thing is the government have the political will to solve all of these things.
Are you worried that failure to take further action could lead to the re-imposition of sanctions against your country, that the advances of recent years could in fact be reversed?
No, I'm not worried about that, because international community clearly understand Myanmar is moving toward the very right direction, and we have our utmost effort to democratic transition. So for the human rights, even in countries like the United States and European and Australia have the same problem on the human rights issues. So I think I'm not worried about the reimposition of sanction to our country.
It's only a few days since the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Myanmar, Thomas O'Hare Quintana, suggested that there needed to be further action, that there were still shortcomings, in particular in relation to the Rohingya. Why can the Rohingya not be citizens of Myanmar?
No, we never say that these Bengali who settle in the Rakhine State will not become the Myanmar citizens. We have the 1982 citizenship law, so there's a lot of criteria. For example, the third generation who settle that country, that area, have the citizenship. So any people, not only these Bengali, any people who living in our country.
But some of them have been there for generations, for
yes,
many,
there are many these Bengali already have the national registration card. I understand, yes.
But would it not be fitting for those people who have been there for some time that they should get citizenship too?
No, we have the law, and the 1982 law, and the recent Parliament reviewed that law, and they said there's still meeting our country's situation. So we have no discrimination against the people. Every people who have meeting the criteria for the citizenship will have the citizen. But there are still many illegal immigrants in that area. We have to solve that problem.
I think something like 120,000 people displaced by the violence in Rakhine State last year are still in camps. The United Nations is worried about what will happen to them when the rains come, when the rainy season returns. Will you allow them to move back into the community as the UN has suggested in time for the wet season, for the rainy season?
Well, now I think most of the people are still living in the camp, but they have enough shelter and food supply for the rainy season, and there are some people are already moving back to their area, which the government and international organization rebuilding the home. But there may be some people have to pass this rainy season in the camp, but I think they have enough shelter to face the rainy season.
And what about in Kachin State? The UN is suggesting that there ought to be better access for aid organisations to the 40,000 or so people displaced by the fighting there. Will you do more to enable aid to get to those people?
Now the government has giving grant for the UN organisation to send the humanitarian assistance on the people from both sides of the conflict. I think in the last month, one or two UN convoys are reaching that people. So I think there's no problem for the giving access. The problem is, the international, the organization has enough supply to send all those people. I think that's my opinion.
Minister, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.